Hi and welcome to Tweet Street. I'm Mick Tiffany and I'm a novice lizard canary keeper and breeder. Join me on my journey as I strive to breed birds good enough for the show bench. Welcome everybody again to another episode of Tweet Street, episode 14. We're going to have a little look round, see how the chicks are getting on, how the other birds are getting on in the aviary as well. The Raza, oh wow, what a turnaround. She's done tremendously well. She's now sitting on 5 eggs, and I've had a nuisance cat causing some real problems to the birds that go outside in the aviary, and a little, what I hope is a solution to keep that cat at bay, because it's been a right nuisance, and it needs sorting in the most humanely way as possible. And that's what we're going through. Also, this week I've been doing this now for 3 months, and we've just gone over the 10,000 views, which quite astonishes me. I know in the YouTube world that's probably a very small amount, but I was excited when I got 100, and now we're over 10,000. So thanks very much for everybody that's watching, finds it of interest. Hopefully it will generate some interest for people wanting to start a hobby. Get a cage, get a bird, 2 birds, and then go from there. And it's a relatively inexpensive hobby, certainly as far as pets go. And I hope that all helps. So thanks very much again. If you are new here, please think about subscribing. Click a like if you like, and please comment if you want to comment. Anything you want me to put in, include, please just ask, and we'll see how we get on. So, and we'll go through some little videos. I've got some lovely stuff coming through this episode, so here we go. Right, just running through the birds. Cage 1, Mariah Carey bird. She's now sitting on 4 eggs as of this morning, Sunday. So 14 days time she should hatch. That's the daughter of Mariah. She's sitting on 3 eggs. I think it's 3 eggs at the bottom there. Unfortunately, both those chicks passed away one day after each other. So she'll go round again, that bird. And there's the cockbird. Just one of those. So I think the temperature was going up and down so much, it really put them off. 3 chicks ready to jump the nest. Cage 9, and they're building a second nest ready for another round. Really nice to see. This pair just haven't done much at the moment. I've just given them a bit of time. There is no rush, obviously. The same for this hen bird. The cockbird was pestering her a fair bit, and she started losing a bit of feather around the neck. So I separated them so she could just chill out a bit. Over here, silver hen, she's sitting on eggs, as is the young gold. Both gold. They're both sitting on eggs at the moment, and that's the cockbird. There's the Razas doing really well. She's got 5 eggs, like I say. She started sitting on them, so to the 14 days, and we'll hopefully get some chicks. This is cage 20. Their chicks are really roll forward and put in the second nest panning because they want you to go down again. Look at that for a bit of technology, eh? You think it's all easy. That's a second phone, some LED lighting around the chicks, just so we can get some really nice clear images. Really, they don't seem to mind it. They like being stars of the show. And yeah, that's just a quick rundown of the birds at the moment. It's kind of, is it going to plan? It is and it isn't. Obviously in your head, all your birds are going to go together at the same time, hatch at the same time, and it's always happy days, but it's very rarely like that. Because of the weather, we've even had light frosts 2 or 3 days this week. So we're going from this hot, cold overnight. I suppose if you're in a hot country and it goes up and down a few degrees, it's still hot, it stays hot. And if you're in a cold country, it's colder a little bit. But here we get warm, always hot, and then we get cold very quickly overnight. And I think it's really been upsetting a lot of the birds. I know a lot of the other breeders have had all sorts of odd starts to the season. But that's my idea of it, I mean, please let me know in the comments if you think it's any different. I mean, most of the breeders will set up for the breeding season in the same way they do every other year. And so, you know, they're all scratching their heads. Obviously, I've scratched mine quite a bit, as you can see, over the years. And it's just what happens. You know, you plan for these things. You think your birds look fit, and they probably are very fit and healthy and ready to go down. And then the temperature comes along, and it upsets the birds a little bit. They're quite delicate creatures, and that's the way. That's the hobby. It's one of the challenges in the hobby. It's unfortunate that, you know, we get high expectations. You know, everything's made a nest, everything's sitting on eggs, and it's all fantastic news. It doesn't always work like that. But it's part and parcel of the hobby, and it's how we try and get around these things, get the birds back into condition, and maybe start them just a little bit later. Like I say, I've got 2 nests where the chicks are doing really well. I had the one nest with 2 chicks. They sadly passed away. It is unfortunate. They're only a week old. They look like they're being fed, but I've got an idea that she was keeping them warm rather than feeding as often as she should, and it doesn't take them very long to pass away when they've got, you know, they're just bits of skin. So excuse me, at that age. I think that was it. So yeah, that's where we stand with the birds at the current time. Right, one of the problems we can get from time to time is nuisance from cats. We obviously get other things as well. We get sparrowhawks, we can have mice, rats, and everything else we need to deal with potentially. And even smaller than that might, obviously. But I've had a cat, only the one, that's causing some real problems. The next door neighbour has had cats in the garden, pooing all over their garden, and they're not keen because they've got 2 little kiddies running out and outside. So they put some little electronic cat scaries in the garden, which set a high pitch, and they seem to work, keep most of the cats away, which was great because it was helping me in my garden. But I've got one rather persistent cat pouncing on top of the aviary. It's really scaring the 2 Napoleon weavers that go out into the aviary, and you know, you can hear it when you're inside the bird room, you can hear it when it's pouncing on top. Obviously I don't want to hurt the cat. It's a cat, doesn't know any different. It's a bird, so it wants to try and kill it. Obviously it's upsetting the birds, and we need to sort that out. So I went on to Amazon, and for £12 a roll, bought 2 rolls of this rolled up. It's like a very flexible plastic spike, so it's not a harmful thing. If the cat actually touched it, the spikes would move. It's just really deterrent because obviously cats, you know, you see them putting the paws down, they like a bit of comfort, and they won't get comfortable laying on a bed of these little sort of flexible spikes. So I've unreeled 2 of them, put them on top of the aviary where the cat was pouncing most, tacked them in at both ends on with some cable clips. So, at some point those cable clips can come off if I need to remove it. I also have a jasmine climber growing up the side in the corner of the aviary, and that grows over the top. From time to time I have to trim that because it gets out of hand. So what I didn't want to do was to put on, which I could do, but I didn't want to, was to put on another bit of timber, bit of 2" by 2" timber around the top, and put another layer of the mesh, because if the jasmine grows between the 2 covers, I can't trim it, and it then blocks out the sun, and I want the sunlight and I want vitamin D on the birds. So my option was to use this spiky stuff, which I can remove if I need to, and just to deter the cat from sitting on top, jumping on top of the aviary, and causing a nuisance. So it just simply unrolls. I tack it both ends, and it just lays there with these little, it looks quite harsh, but it isn't. It's quite flexible. If I move it, they just move. It's not like it's a bed of nails. And it should, well, so far it's been on 3 days and no cat on top. It has tried pouncing on the side of the aviary. It's obviously very determined, but I'm hoping just those 2 runs on top of the aviary will be enough just to deter it from thinking give it up as a bad job, and hopefully it will do. So that's the problem with a cat. I don't know what you guys do. If you want to let me know what you do. I don't want to sit there with a blunderbuss in the garden. I don't even kill mice when we get the mice in the garden and stuff. I'll trap them and then I take them up to the woods and let them go at the woods. So I like to keep all the animals and bits and bobs alive, but I do want to deter some of them, obviously. So far everything else will be fine. I've had a quick check round as well for mite in the aviary. We've got no mite at the moment. In the previous episodes you've seen me, I'll put Vaseline on the sides of the backs of the cages, all the little nooks and crannies. Seem to be working so far, touch wood. And so we've got the little stuff isn't in, the bigger stuff hopefully will be now avoided. Now I can put his captive terror on top, and we'll see if the birds will live a little bit happier. I've got something special now to go through. Is the first 18 days of a chick. What happens? Day 1, hatching. There we go, first 3 hatched, all on the same day. Little bits of skin, more hair than I've got still. Day 2, just growing a little bit. You can see the size of the eyes compared with the rest of the skull. Really huge. We discussed eyes last week. Fantastic bits of kit for the birds. Day 3, they're looking quite frail there, but they are being fed. We had lots of video of these 3 guys being fed well. They just look shattered, don't they? That was day 3. Going into day 4, you can see the food in the net, in the crop. They're growing. You can see that they're growing. Much more hair than I've got as well. Gutting. Absolutely gutting. And that was day 4. Going into day 5, you can see, just see that bit of the backbone where it's getting a little bit darker. Look down the centre. So that's the feathers just itching to come through that skin, because at the minute it's just skin. Going into day 6, then you can see the outline of those feathers trying to come through on the heads as well, and the wings. You can see they're much bigger. This is just after 6 days. And they're coming through quite well. And then we're going into day 7. A bit more character. You can see the wings forming a little bit. Bit darker colours. Looks like one chick's ahead of the other 2, and I think that was probably right. He was a bit faster growing. And day 8. Now you can see we're cooking now. Them feathers are trying to come through. Little bits look like a Mohican at the minute. Nice and dark. Good colour base. Day 9. They're getting there now. The eyes are opening. Loads of poo on the outside. At this point they would have been ringed, because all the poo is on the outside of the nest. So that's the sign that tells me it's a good time to ring the birds. So they've had the rings on the feet by now. Missed day 10 out. Unfortunately I had a bit of a camera glitch. This is day 11, and look at the amazing difference in them 2 days. The feathers have just gone ping, out we come. Just going into day 12, much more feathering. You got to get on well with your brothers and sisters now, look, because one's at the bottom and 2 on the top. The one on the bottom is keeping nice and warm, obviously. I did put the heating on in the bird room now. It's got a base temperature of 10 degrees. I didn't want to lose any more birds with this going up and down temperature. So I tried to keep it at a 10 degree minimum. As you can see, the feathers are forming quite nice. That's on day 13. Here we go, 2 weeks on from hatching, day 14. You can see on the patterns are going to come on the head. You've got 2 broken caps, and we've got a non-cap. No yellow feathers on the head at all. I like those. It'd be nice to see what pattern we're getting on top. I moved the camera around because they were just getting too fidgety. I didn't want to disturb them above, so this is from the side now. That's day 15. You saw the little camera setup earlier on in the video, and I trimmed out the bit of coconut fibre in the way so we could see them better. You can see they're just stretched. They must itch like mad to get them feathers going through. Growing so quick, day 16. And they're agitated, look. Now, the perch on the outside now, it's day 17. They're ready to go. They want to jump out. Excuse me, I've had a man flu this week. Just getting over man flu. Thank you for the sympathy. and that's day 17. Day 18, what a brilliant day. One of them's already fledged, he's jumped, and this one, the non-cap, look, does he, don't he, will he, won't he? The other one's asleep, missing all the action. They don't know what's going on, but this one looks getting ready, stretching, combed its hair. Is it going to go? Go on, son, you can go. Go on, go on, go on. Is he going to? Will he, won't he? Oh, he's not going to bother, is it? Come on, you can do it. Here you go. Whee! Fledged. He's off. He's on the sticks. His brother or sister just woke up thinking, do I go? Nah, I'll have a yawn and I'll go back to sleep. There we go. 18 days in the life of a young lizard canary chick, and they have left the nest. Well, there we go. That's everything for another episode. That was episode 14. I love that, to see the amazing speed the chick. Once they hatch, they go like wildfire, don't they? 18 days and off out the nest. I should be going out there shortly just to make sure that they're back in a nest for the evening. Make sure they keep warm. Like I say, I've got a heater in there now, keeping that base temperature up because of the up and down temperatures that we're getting here in the UK, or this part of England for sure at the minute. And try and keep that temperature steady and see if that'll help improve stuff. So thanks very much, everybody. Really appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for your comments. I get lots of private messages as well, and it's brilliant. Thank you very much. Have a good week. Hopefully next week we'll see. We should have some more hatching out next Friday, so next weekend hopefully we'll have some more. If the eggs are fertile, I haven't checked yet, I will. But thanks very much again. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, share, whatever you do. It's entirely up to you. I hope you enjoyed it all. See you all soon, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.